Hi, Grandmaster Stroud, brother teacher. Someone asked me the question, uh, in karate or martial arts forms, or kata, pums, hums, uh, can you use or benefit those things learned in katas in a street fight, street confrontation? And that's not a two-edged sword, but it's a sensitive subject on some level, because some people actually believe only one way. They believe that, when you're running a kata or form, that, that's movement number 7, movement number 12, and that's if a person does this and does that. You know, let's remember, most of the katas and the forms that we see and that we're introduced to were created many, many years ago. And they were designed for those people of those times and those circumstances of those times as well. Everything does not translate as well in modern day or modern times, as it were. For example, back in the 1700s, or even many thousands of years before that, when martial arts was being used and developed and so forth, people were not wearing the same clothing. They were not living the same way. They were not living in cities as we are today with the technology that we have today. And guns were not available and or even created during those times. So there's a whole lot of different things that's going on now, opposed to how man lived then or during those times. So fundamentally, understanding physics, understanding the human body, understanding pressure points, understanding how our mechanics are as a human being, those aspects of martial arts back in the day, as some might like to say or call it, is still practical, using the principles, leverage, balance, speed, mass times acceleration, and so on and so forth. All of these principles, concepts on physics and what have you, these things are always applicable in today's time. However, when we're talking about running a kata or a form like in a martial arts competition, that's one thing. Okay, in some systems and or styles, you have katas like kung fu. Many kung fu systems, they have a demonstration kata that does not necessarily highlight the practical aspect of fighting there. And then they have what is called sets, or they have what is called techniques, something that's done apart from that in a classroom setting. So forms oftentimes in the past 30, 40, 50 years have transformed into more of a show, more of a demonstration type of event, more of a competition where people are trying to win awards, medals, trophies, and even cash in some events, and then state recognition in the United States, if you will, and national, international recognition as a martial arts competitor or star, and sometimes even ending up in the movie industry and things of this sort. But you have to draw the line. There's a distinct difference in martial arts competition as it relates to forms or kata and sparring versus what's in the real world on the street. They don't necessarily, and I say necessarily, translate to a street situation. It always depends on the individual. It depends on your natural born gifts, if you will, or lack thereof. It depends on how much time you spend on training, your mindset, your attitude, your weight, your height, a whole lot of things. Do you have any predispositions as far as medical issues and things going on with you? It depends, and it varies from individual to individual. So to answer the question more directly, if I've been carrying you somewhere else, to answer the question more directly, does a martial arts kata or form work or benefit you in a street fight? Not directly, it does not. There's a whole lot of elements involved. You can't run a form in a self-defense situation. We'll answer it that way. But at the same time, those forms do contain techniques that can be utilized and that are utilized in self-defense. Understanding that way. However, let's not say just because I'm learning these forms, now I'm confident in a street fight. Oh no, you cannot dismiss sparring. You must spar. You must train with a real person as close to reality as possible from a self-defense standpoint within your school, your training hall, your dojo, your dojang, your kun. You must have a live partner. Forms only go so far, but it depends on the person invested in that particular thing at the same time. And I hope I answered your question. I'm sure I did, because I've been doing this over half my life. But anyway, take care. Be blessed.